Hello guys, welcome again to Unleashed. It's your boy Matrix. Today we are going to continue with variables in C#. So, what is a variable? What is a variable? A variables are containers for storing data value. In C#, there are different types of variable. So we define them with different keywords. So let's start with variables. So we have different variables we have integers. You know, integers for storing integers. When you say integers, is a whole number without decimals. When you say whole number, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, or let's use a comment. But there is no need. Let's use it, no problem. The integers are the whole numbers without the decimals, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are whole numbers. It is what you call integers. So when you are going to store integers, we use keywords. Use a keyword int. So let me show the syntax. The syntax that we use is let's use syntax int. Let's show you how we declare or we create a variable. We use a type of variable, then a variable name, then use this equal sign, value of variable. So this type can be integer, double is for storing floating point numbers with the decimals, or we'll see. We have also character and string, boolean. We'll explain them when you are working on them. So this is the syntax of how we declare a variable. So we're going to start with integer. For integer, what we do, we use this keyword integer, int. This is a variable type, as I said, variable type. Then we need a variable name. Let's call it b. Then this equal sign, equal. Then let's say 2026. Then this .com. So after creating, you see this is a variable type which is integer. Variable name is b for storing value. We are using b to store this 2026. So as I said, now we need to display or to provide output of b. We use console dot write. This can work. Write b. So if we try to run, You see, 2026. The output is 2026. So if we try something like, I will show you that after. So now this is for integer. We are going to move with a string. For a string, we use this keyword, string, variable name of a string, use name, then use this equal sign, then the value we are going to use unreached. This, so semicolon. You see, we still have the issue. It is not a string. When you declare a string, we use this double quotation. It must be inside of this double quotation. This value must be inside of this. You see, now there is no error. So we can display it. Console.write name. This is our variable name. So we are going to get unleashed as a string. So string, for string, we use a string for storing text. So string value are surrounded by a single quote or double quote, as you see. Let's try to run this. You see, we have an erased, but the issue is because we didn't put here or the right try. Let's run it now. You see, unleashed for new line. We use this for new line, and this for there's no new line. It's like appending. You see, guys? Now let's bring new line. So now we are going to move with how you can declare a variable without assigning the value and assign the value later. Let's use, for example, integer. Int y, for example. Then we say y is equal to 15. Then you can display this 15. You see, we didn't assign a value directly to this variable name. So then after we assign the value of this variable name to 15, then we are going to display the output. You see, 15. So now what you have to note that if you assign a new value to an existing variable, it will overwrite the previous value. Let me give you an example. Let's use integer y. Let's use integer. Let's use x equal 20. Then x equal 25. You see? Then you console.write line x. Here, what you have to note If you assign a new value to existing variable, it will overwrite the previous value. You're going to get this instead of getting this. Let me run this. You see we have a 25 instead of having 20. So what to do, it will override the previous value. So we are going to move how we declare all other types. We're going to start with integer. So let's use integer. For declaring integer, as I told you, integer is for storing a whole numbers without decimals. Let's use integer equal 1. Now we have a declared integer. Int a equal 1. Now you see, we are going to declare a double. A double is for storing floating point numbers with decimals. For example, such as you can say 1.5. You can say 64.9. So let me show you how to declare it. We use this keyword double. Let's use n, double n equal. We can use 5.9. For example, you see there is these small numbers here. For other types, we have the characters. So for characters, it's for storing single characters, such as you can store A or B. Character value are surrounded by single quotes. So let me show you how to declare it. For characters, you can say, you can write with this keyword. We declare it with this keyword char. Then you can say letter. For example, we are declaring letter. Let's use A. We are storing this single character. You see, we have a single quote, not double quote. So then you are going to declare Boolean. For Boolean, what you have to know is a Boolean, it is store values with two states, true or false, 1 or 0. To declare it, what we do, we use a keyword of bool. Then variable name, let's use my bool. Then you see we have a false. We can have false or true. We can have here false or true. So now, guys, what you are going to do after that, what you are going to do is to learn about a constant. So what is a constant? If you don't want, for example, if you don't want others to overwrite existing value, as I told you before, you can add the sign. We use this keyword const. Use it for constant is a value that doesn't change. We use this keyword, constant keyword, so in the front of a variable type. So this will declare the variable constant, which means unchangeable or read only. Let's say const integer let's use my number equal 30, for example, with this keyword const. So we are going to overwrite it. My number equal, we are trying to overwrite it equal, let's say 21. If we try this, it will, you see, it will bring error. You are trying to overwrite this constant, and it is unchangeable and read only. So the constant keyword is useful when you want it to. It is useful when you want a variable to always store the same value, so that others won't mess up your code. An example that is often referred to as, for example, we can use PI. So what you have to note, you cannot declare a constant variable without assigning the value. If you don't do, you will get the error. So it means the constant field require a value to be provided. As you see, guys, you can't change this my number because it is a constant. It is unchangeable and it is read only. So now let's remove this. You know, to display a variable, use this built-in function. What you're going to do now, you're going to see what we call multiple variables to declare many variables. So to declare more than one variable of the same type, so we use the comma. You will see, let's say for example, int for example first let's use the first equal 1. Second equal 2. Then you need the second. You need to use a comma only. Third equal 3, for example. Then we finish with this semicolon. You see, to declare more than one variable for the same type, we are using integer. We use a comma to separate the list. As you see, we are using a comma to separate. At the end, we use this semicolon. Now we want it to display them. Let's display them. Answer dot. Let's use the right line. Then I'm going to use, for example, first press. Let's use press. Second, press a third. Press a third. So Now we are declaring many or multiple variables. So then let's try to run this. You see, 1 plus 2 plus 3, 2 plus 3 equal 5. 5 plus 1 equal 6. First plus second plus third equal 6. First equal 1, value of first equal 1, value of second variable equal 2, value of third equal 3. So 1 plus 2 equal 3, 3 plus 3 equal 6. So this is what you're getting, the output of 6. So guys, you have also to try yourself. So now we are going to move with identifiers. So identifiers in a C#. All C# variable must be identified with the unique names. These unique names are what we call identifiers. So identifiers can be short names like Y, X, or M, or more descriptive names where you can use, for example, when you are declaring integer, you can use age, sum, total value. There are so many things. So it is recommended to use descriptive name in order to create understandable and maintainable code if you are going to be. I hope everyone who is learning this is going to be developer. Let's try it, for example. Let's use, for example, an example. We wanted to specify the age. So int age of someone. Or let's use the minute for per hour. All of us know with the 60 minutes. Then you can also see the minute per hour is a 6, but some people can write int m like a minute equal 60. So the general rules that we follow for naming a variable that we have to know is names can contain letters, digit, and underscore character. Names must begin with a letter or underscore. Names should start with a lowercase letter and cannot contain a white space. Names are case sensitive. When we say names are case sensitive, you can't write number like this. If my number is written like this, and the other people try to write something like my number, these are two different things. That is why I'm saying names are case sensitive. These are two different variables. So Now we are going to move to the next things. As you know, we have finished to deal with data types. So, but what you have to know, the data types specify the size and the type of variable values. So it's important to use the correct data type for corresponding variables to avoid errors, to save time and memory, but it will also make your code more maintainable and readable. So the most common data types that we use are integer. Integer have a size of 4 bytes, so it store a whole number. We use also a long, which has 80 bytes to store a whole number. We use a float, which have a size of 4 bytes. It is store fractional numbers, sufficient for storing 6 or 7 decimal digits. The other things that you have to know, we have a double, where it is store 8 bytes. It is store fractional number sufficient for storing it's sufficient for storing 15 decimal digits. Then Boolean, it is store 1 byte. It is store true or false value. Then character, it has 2 byte size, and it is store a single character letter surrounded by single quotes. Other things is a string which has 2 bytes per character. It is store a sequence of characters surrounded by double quotes. So as you know, numbers are divided into 2 groups. Integer types, that is store a whole number, which can be a positive or negative. It can, when I say it can be a positive or negative, the integer can store minus 45 or 45. This is the negative value, or it can store 45, which is the positive value, but without decimal. Integer doesn't store decimal. So the valid types are can use integer and long. Which type should use it depends on numeric value. So for floating point types, it represents numbers with a fractional part containing 1 or more decimal. It's a valid when you use float and double. So now we are going to move to the next. The next things that we are going to cover is what we call typecasting in a C#. So typecasting is when you assign a value of one data type to another type. So in a C#, there are 2 types of casting. We have implicit casting, so automatically converting a small type of to a large type size. Can change character to integer or long or float or double. Then we have also explicit casting, which is manual converting large type to a small size type. We're going to start with implicit casting, which is done automatically when passing a small size type to a large size type. Let me give you an example. Int my integer, for example, let's make it 10. This integer. Then we are going to use double. My we are going to use the double let's call it my double, then which is going to be equal to my integer. So you see, this is what you call implicit casting. So it is automatically done when passing a smaller size type to a larger size type. So let's do the output. Use console dot right line. Let's use my integer. Let's use also console dot right line my double. So now we are going to learn and see the output. The output is 10, 10. We are what you have to know. You see, my integer only have 10, and the double, my double is equal to my integer. But you see, we have two different data type. Here we have integer, here we have double. So now we're going to move with explicit casting. Explicit casting must be done manually by replacing the type in parentheses in the front of the value. Let me show you something about it. So double, choose double, my d equal, let's say 70.8. Then we are going to convert this to manual casting double. We are going to move. We are going to convert double to integer. Let's use int, my int. So as I told you, explicit casting must be done manually by pressing the type in parentheses in front of the variable. So here what you're going to use is parentheses, then you use integer. So after that, you're going to add here my d. You see? So what you have to know, here we are missing this. Now we are going to display the output. Console.write line. Let's display this. See, we have 7. We don't have 0.8. But when we try also to do console dot write line my d, you see the difference. We have 1.8 and we have a 1. So we have 7.8 and we have 7. For this, we have double with a decimal, but for integer, because of converting with a manual, we don't have this 8. So now we are going to deal with the type of conversion method. So it is also to convert data type explicitly by using a built-in method. So built-in methods can be different, like convert to boolean, convert to double, convert to string, convert to integer, convert to integer for long with a 64-bit. So let me show a little bit about it. So let's use integer. My I is gonna be equal to 10, for example. Then double. My double, which is going to be equal 5.57, for example, with decimal. Then we are going to use bool. Let's use my bool, which is, let's use it through. So after that, we are going to do type conversation method. Let me show you. Console dot write line. Then you're going to use method convert dot. Let's use it to string, for example. To string. Then my, you see guys, let's try to run this. You see 10. So, but what you have to know is, let's use this convert. Choose to double. Choose also my I. Let's run this. Still have 10. So, but what you have to ask yourself is, why conversation? So many times there is no need for type conversation, but some you have it too. We'll see in our next things. So guys, the course today is done now. The next we focus with user input. Be ready to run with me. After this, we will build the best ASP.NET project or C# project, like employee, other things. You can suggest the project that you want us to build for you. Thank you. See you next.